Aeneid video notes for Book 1, lines 34 through 49. We begin here with a view from above of our intrepid Trojans. Still don't know that Aeneas is on the boat. And Juno looking down upon them, raging further. She is raging so much that her first sentence is not even a complete sentence. Barely out of sight of the land of Sicily, they give their sails into the deep. A less literal translation, they unfurl their sails, that'd be fine. Happy, and they plow Ruebat, the foam of the salt, with bronze. If that makes no sense, that's because we're using the poetic device's metonymy here. And so let's translate spumas here as foam, salis here as sea, and aira here as plow. They plow the salt, the foam of the sea with bronze, or bronze plow. Cum here, even though we don't actually have a main verb, we're going to imply that it is indicative, and so therefore this cum must be translated as when. When Juno. Sero here, protecting, cherishing, I'll almost say nursing her eternal wound under her breast, chest, either's fine, imply the verb said these things. We would say to herself. Latin says secum, with herself, either's fine. As far as word order goes, we have a nice A, B, synchesis word order. Again, the first words out of her mouth, really weird Latin. I'd recommend you do something along the lines of, can you believe that? And so therefore, we're more or less starting with an indirect statement without that verb at the head. Can you believe that I, me, am turned away, Wictom here, modifying that me, defeated, from the beginning. And Kepto here, ablative of separation. And am not able to turn away the king, regem, of the Trojans, Teucri here, another synonym for Troiani, from Italy, again, ablative of separation. Indeed, I am forbidden by the fates. This is a dative of agent. We're going to see it a lot in poetry because since there's no a or ab in front of it, it can't be an ablative of agent, and every syllable counts in poetry. Palisne technically is I'm asking you a question and I don't know the answer, but here she's very much knows the answer and very rhetorically is asking it. Wasn't Pallas able to burn to the ground the fleet of the Greeks, the Argives, and to drown Ipsos, the men themselves, Ponto, in the sea, on account of and here we have something called a hendiades. So when we take two nouns, treat one of them more or less as though it were an adjective of the other. Here you can translate it either as mad crime or criminal madness. And it's the criminal madness of one Ajax, son of Oileus. Now, those of you who know your Greek mythology know that Ajax was a very famous warrior and shows up in a lot of the Trojan War myths. That is not this Ajax. That was Ajax the Greater. This here is Ajax the Lesser, oily Ajax, and his claim to fame is his disgraceful desecration of the temple of Athena at Troy during the sacking of Troy, and his gruesome death at the hands of Athena, Minerva, as a result. This word order here, of course, is chiasmus, chiasmus, baby, then be a word order. Woo! Ipsa here refers to Juno. Sorry, I apologize. It refers not to Juno, but to Minerva. She herself, having hurled, Yakulata is from a deponent verb, which is why we have a active translation, even though it looks like a last principle part. She herself, having hurled, after she had hurled the rapidum ignem here, rapid fire, of Jupiter, meaning lightning bolts, out of the clouds, and both scattered the fleet and overturned the Aiquara, the sea, ventis, with winds. This is an ablative of means. She used to do the action of the verb. She snatched up Ilum. Here, this Ilum refers to oily Ajax. And that is then modified by expirantem. She snatched him up as he's breathing out flames from his pierced chest. You can take the transfixa pectore as either an ablative of ablative absolute, or just takes transfixo as more or less an adjective describing it. But either way, um, those two go together. And this is not an ablative. Sorry, this is not a chiasmus here because flamas is the object of expirantem, not modifying ilum. Again, she snatched him up with a whirlwind, ablative of means again. Snatched with a whirlwind him as he's breathing out flames from his pierced chest. And she impaled him on a sharp rock. Very nice use of word order there. Also, more of an ablative of means location. Now this one. But I, again continuing in Juno's voice, who, antecedent of qua here is, of course, ego. I who march about as queen of the gods and both sister and wife of Jupiter, at the same time with a tribe, or rather with one tribe, for so many years, wage of wars. And whoever worships the divinity of Juno, it is present tense, let's leave it present tense, but the idea is who here on out. Praeterea, moreover, or from this point on. Or who will, future tense, as a suppliant, will place an honorum here, sacrifice is fine, on the altars is a dative, because that's how impono, that compound verb, works. And that's it.